do have any questions, please make sure you're in line in the next minute, and then we'll do a cutoff on the line. So if anyone else wants to, Catherine?
Yeah, this is the children's book that some people may have heard I've been working on for about 12 years now, called I Won't Take the Mark. So even though I've spent 13 years of my life as a consumer advocate, and I've testified before the Federal Trade Commission, and I've been appointed by the governor of my home state to be an RFID expert, and I've written for Scientific American, and I've done lots and lots of things that gave me lots of street cred in the academic community. When it really comes down to it, sir, wherever you went, you are absolutely right. This is entirely a spiritual battle. This is a spiritual battle that was talked about 2,000 years ago. So I have written a children's book called I Will Not Take the Mark, I Won't Take the Mark, and I do have copies here. I am not in a position to sell them, but if there's anyone here with children who would like to get a copy, I would be more than happy to give you a copy and to sign it over to your children after the event. So I did bring these. They're not publicly released, so this is a very, I guess a privileged little group here where we'll hand them out.
Thank you, Catherine Albrecht. Sir, you've been waiting patiently. Please talk to us.
I just want to make a statement. It's very obvious to me that the entire school board for Northside Independent School District has to be replaced. And I'm appealing to members of this audience that are so led to run for the school board.
That's a great idea.
I want to make a comment in that regard. These people are supposed to be representing their district, and they are not doing it, as we can see tonight. And I want to challenge the guy in the hat. What's your name with the hat, with the white hat? Chris? Have you guys considered doing a petition? Not a recall, but listen to what I'm saying. A petition of every student's parents in that school, and get them to either sign that they agree or don't agree with this. That will influence the independent school district, your board members. And if you do a petition and you get 60 people and they say, well, that's not enough. Well, we'll go get more, get 90, get 100, 150, 200. Those numbers keep going up, they're going to change their mind. You watch what I say. That's the action item that needs to happen.
But you're saying does specify on the parents themselves?
Parents vote. Kids don't vote for school board. You go get a petition for the parents of that school, every single one, because you've got a list. If you've got, you've got a list of, yes, you do that. That's the action item that needs to be taken away, and that will influence that board, and they will change their mind.
We'll get right on this. And I was even saying, I was telling them at some of the initial board meetings that, yeah, you're going to have to come up for re-election. And at this point, I'm livid enough to show up at any place where they're going to be forced to speak with the public, and they won't be able to hide behind their desk of authority.
Campaign season.
And again, just for the record, anyone showed up late, Northside Independent School District, several people on this panel, I'm sorry, not on the panel, but Texans for Accountable Government and a few other individuals by email, by U.S. postal mail, and by telephone reached out to a number of employees with Northside Independent School District. All of them either refused or declined or didn't answer. So got to make that clear in case you were tardy. There's your info. Sir, last but not least, go ahead.
Well, I just want to make a general statement. I want to thank each and every one of you for doing what you do. If it's not for without you doing your hard work and your research, this issue wouldn't be as big as it has become. It's actually gone worldwide. I actually do a little bit of work with We Are Change. We did actually do a petition to get parents and children and the general public aware of this, and we've collected around 600 signatures. I even took a Halloween weekend to get it done, and we collected a lot then. Another thing that a gentleman that first spoke when he was talking about cell phone radiation, it actually came out in the news in a 5-second soundbite that there was a study done that shows that the location of cell phones in people's pockets causes rates of higher infertility and testicular cancer. So that is something that has been reported in mainstream media. It's not just some kind of conspiracy theory. It's actually real, and there are health concerns that I don't even carry a cell phone That's how bad, I think it is. I just won't carry a cell phone.
That's what happened. We were calling you earlier. You didn't answer. That's what happened.
I use the internet.
And lastly, if you don't, I'm sorry, but it's getting so...
But let me make
Sure.
one more
Yep.
point. This thing is not going to just stop with Northside Independent School District. SAISD, I had the chance to talk to former Mayor Ed Garza, who was the superintendent of SAISD. I asked him, are you guys thinking about implementing this RFID tracking system in the SISD district? And he said, I don't know anything about that. And I was like, are you sure about that? Because in the Northside Independent School District, they're doing that, and we're fighting against that. And we're not going to be the only ones. We got the ACLU, we got Digital Frontier, we got everybody on this. And there's a lot of parents that want to have a forum. At least give the parents the option to talk about it, give us a forum so that we can make a decision and either influence the way, the schools run, the policies are run, what's wrong with, getting a tardy slip, from wherever you are, your counselor or whatever. And so it's not going to stop. He later admitted to me, he said, well, we're going to take a look at the Northside Independent School District's data after this year and see what the results are. So they're thinking about it. They're just not telling us about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And very last, thank you, sir.
If I can comment real quick on what he had to say about the tardy slips, and that's the biggest problem with Northside and their whole pilot program. And well, if he's not in class, he's marked absent. No, they're not. If I'm in the counselor's office, well, then my counselor will write me a pass to class, and they'll mark me present for that class. If I'm in the restroom when the bell rings, there's somebody out there who takes my ID down and prints me a tardy pass, takes me to class. Boom, I'm marked absent. So they can't say, oh, she wasn't in class, she's absent. No, because if I get there 30 seconds later, you're going to go fix my attendance. And they have to. They will go fix your attendance and mark you as present. They'll mark you as tardy, excuse tardy, whatever, but you're marked present.
I would like to thank everybody that in the audience and the panel that's here. We came from Austin to come down here. I just have a comment, and I want y'all all to think about it. I have 2 dogs, and Captain Albrecht has brought out a lot of information about the chipping, and these are mostly passive chipping. I don't want my dog to have a chip. Amen. Why my children? Thank you.
We all first heard about this when a young lady named Andrea Hernandez, along with her father, her family, and her beliefs, had to take legal action against Northside Independent School District. And Heather, I know you're going to close. Thank you all for coming. But real quick, Mr. Hernandez, you wanted to say something again. I think you guys know this gentleman.
I got it. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. It's absolutely wonderful that you're all here tonight. I'd like to thank this panel. I'd like to thank my daughter for standing up. I always get a little emotional around the mic, so I apologize. I'm just very proud of my daughter. She stood up straight, and she won't bend. She forgoed her education at John Jay High School for her religious beliefs. She said, I would much rather go to Taft High School than have to walk around and be forced to carry an RFID tracking chip. I want you all to know, I put this on your seat tonight, okay? I want you to know something. No matter what NISD tells you, they have changed the cost on this program 4 different times. This right here, what you hold in your hand today, ladies and gentlemen, is actual proof from the PowerPoint that Wade Garcia used to present this to the NISD school board. This is the actual proof. I have a folder sitting over there with my mom right now that has ad valorem taxes they're putting on the people and all the votes and all the things that they've been doing. Now, I don't know if some of you don't know who Mark Anderson is. Mark Anderson couldn't be here tonight from Republic Radio. He's done really well by our story, and he brought up a good question that he asked to me. He said, Steve, all of the bond debt for every school that is being built in the state of Texas, all of that debt is held by the top 10 banks in the nation today. He said every person's house in the state of Texas is leveraged against that bond debt. He said, so I have a simple question for you, Steve. How does a school get paid? I said, by attendance. He says, how does the school pay back this debt? I said, well, by the children showing up to school. He says, absolutely. He goes, I can't prove it at this time. He says, but it seems to me the reason they're tracking these children is because they have a debt to pay. This is all about monies, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what NISD tells you, don't buy what they're selling. I would like to see every person here on our next rally show up. I don't want to lose track. I don't want to lose track of the real reason why we're here tonight. We're here for my baby. She stood up for herself because of the love of the Lord that she has. And I apologize, I get a little emotional when it comes to my children. She's a leader, she's not a follower. She loves the God that we worship with all her heart. There's people sitting here today who do not believe in God. There's some people here are here today to fight this on the money issues, civil liberties. But I think it's kind of funny how the good Lord put us all together for one common fight. I'm not going to be as gracious as everybody up here was saying, you know, well, I'm kind of sorry the NISD didn't show up tonight. I'm glad NISD didn't show up tonight, because finally Mr. Hernandez gets a chance to talk.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
So I want to tell everybody here, thank you very much for everything you've done. And for a lot of those questions that y'all didn't get answered tonight, I'll be more than happy to answer them, because I do have the answers to many, many questions. Okay, God bless everybody. Thank you for everything. Thank you for showing up. Heather Fazio, God bless you. You've been a rock, and you've been fighting with us side by side. Catherine, I can't say enough for Catherine. We've already spoke before. We've Skyped.
We Skyped.
And it was a good night for us.
We had a Google Hangout.
Yes, we had Google Hangout. Laura, thank you for coming. Andrea, I love you, baby. My man, thank you for moderating. I really appreciate it. Miss Katie right here. Miss Katie right here is an absolute beautiful woman who has given up her time with her children and her family to fly to San Antonio several times. Albrecht was fighting on religious belief, Leticia Alemán, and the We Are Change group, my man Chris, Marshall, everybody. I love you all, and God bless every you. Malcolm, I didn't forget you. Okay? God bless you, but I just want to tell you, please, folks, please stand up together.
It's only the beginning.
Because if your children can see that it's wrong, then you should stand up for your children. God bless you all. Thank you for coming.
And lastly, thank you, Mr. Murphy. Thank you so much. We have 1 minute each with the panelists. So starting with Andrea, heading back down to Catherine and Heather, if you don't mind wrapping it up.
No problem. You know, I do want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here today. You guys, you being here shows so much great support that you guys are my driving force. Because of you, and all the way you in the back, I continue to fight. Because of you guys and for my love of God that I continue to fight and I continue to do what's right. And, you know, I was kind of hesitant. I didn't know how many people were going to come out here today, but this is a great turnout. I'm so glad you guys came. It was great hearing all your questions. I'm glad these people came out and they helped, and I hope your questions got answered. But I just want to say thank you all, and I love you all so much for coming out here and doing this for me. Thank you, guys.
We have instructions on how to disable it and how to destroy the chip without destroying the outside of it. This is just one of our prototypes. We have some of ours that are in color. We have some of them that contain more information on them.